Okay, so I hit the mute button. All right, I apologize. I was cleaning my tablet or laptop or whatever the hell. It's a laptop, whatever you guys call it. All right, I was cleaning it and I must have hit the mute button by accident. So sorry. Okay, hi Redbird. Thanks for sticking through with me, Redbird. Okay, so back to the first topic: Black women and Black women business owners. Okay, so like I was saying before, this is what I was saying in the previous video. Okay, I was very surprised when I heard like there was still an out of wedlock rate so high in the Black community, right? Because I thought, well, surely us knowing that this is a problem, we've been working to fix it. You know what I'm saying? Hey Robert, I don't know. Do I know you personally? Because sometimes I feel like people that I know are like on here, but they have like different screen names. But just you'd let me know. Okay. Okay. If not, then Redbird it is. Okay. So, no. Oh, okay. Well, I feel like I do. Thank you, Redbird. Okay. Um, so I was surprised that there was this like still this out of wedlock rate so high in the community because, and I'm not trying to be like, you got to be married and blah, blah, blah. I'm just saying I was surprised that this, I mean, at the end of the day, it's not something to strive for. You know, I remember when I was doing my video on strippers and people were like, it sounds like you hating on them. No, I'm not hating on them, but it doesn't sound like something to strive for. It just doesn't, or else they wouldn't be like, now I'm out the club every chance they get to like remind you that they're no longer strippers, right? I don't dance, right? Like, I ain't gotta dance, right? Finally, right? They're not like, it's the greatest job in the world. I still love to dance. Like that's not what's going on. So that's what I was saying in the stripper video. What I'm saying about this is out of wedlock rate isn't something, a high out of wedlock rate isn't something to strive for, right? Being a deadbeat isn't some dad or mom isn't something to strive for. And like I was saying, I've said in previous videos, I'm really proud of how the Black American, you know, particularly, I mean, my generation, whatever the fuck we are, some people say we're millennials, I know I'm not Gen X. I know those are people old as shit, but what comes after Generation X? I don't know, but it's not millennials. It's whatever I am. So, oh, Gen Y. Okay, so Gen Yers, all right, aka millennials, all right, we fucking flipped that shit. We really did. I feel like, you know, people love to be like, you know, oh, they show Black women so beautiful and blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, I guess y'all didn't watch a little movie called New Jack City. Okay. There's always been a very negative stereotype of the Black woman. And I feel like Black women really put in work. I know my fucking ass did to switch that narrative. You know, coming from two drug addicted parents myself to, you know, never ever, you know, ever going to be in a position where that happens. That took work. That took work. That I was doing as a kid, and I saw a lot of people doing that. I saw a lot of Black kids with their heads down in the books and focused, you know, and so we should be commended for that. So I'm not here to drag Black women business owners at all. I'm here to have a discussion. I think that the discussion is important. Okay, so let's talk. Okay, what's wrong? What's wrong with y'all? What's the problem? What's wrong? I feel like a lot of y'all need a hug. Okay. Um, there's still, it's so unprofessional still. I'm just gonna say it. So unprofessional. So many Black women businesses. And, you know, I live in the tri-state area. So I spend a lot of time in New York. I spend a lot of time in Brooklyn. I spend a lot of time in Jersey. I spend a lot of time in a lot of places. And I go to all these places in the hopes of finding some goddamn professionalism. And we're still missing the mark. All right. So my personal story being, I went to get my crochet braids done, and I went, you know, I found the place online. Yes, I found it short notice. but I read all of the reviews. It was like all 36 or 48. It was a high number. I read all of them, right? And I read a lot of different places reviews. I didn't just like pick the first place, right? On like one of these apps that you go on to like find hair places. And keep in mind, I go to Google, I go to Instagram, I go everywhere I can go to find hair places in the goddamn tri-state area, and I can't fucking find any. Yeah, Daniel Carlise. Oh, awesome, Redbird. Thank you. Thank you for being subscribed for a while. A while. Okay. Um, and it's just ridiculous. Now, I will say, um, I think the black restaurant, the food is good, but there's amateur mistakes still being made. um, you know, and I go to Harlem and I go to Brooklyn to go to the best ones. And the best ones, they want to act mad fucking shady and shit, looking you up and down and shit. Bitch, hi, you work here. I'm playing for a plate. Hi, that's not a type of attitude to have. That's not the kind of attitude that has longevity in business. You know what I'm saying? So why are they doing it? Okay. So back to the hair place. Okay. Yes, I found it short notice. And I got to tell you, it feels like it's just never a good thing to find something short notice. It wasn't the day of, it was like 2 days before. And that's because I found other places and I was canceling and just trying to find something that worked for me based on all the reviews I read and all the research that I do. I really do a good amount of research before I go to a business because I want to help Black businesses if I can. And I don't want to play no games. You know what I'm saying? I want to go in and be like, "Hi, how are you? Oh my god!" Right? That's what I want. I want a SpongeBob laugh type of experience. That's what I want to feel when I go into people's businesses. And instead, you get a lot of shadiness in games, and people want to take that SpongeBob laughter away from you. Okay, so um, I read all the reviews and they were all great. She had like a 5, it was like 4.5, 5, 4.5, 5 stars. You know what I'm saying? Like, what was that show? Star Search. Okay, 4.5, 5 stars, right? She had 4.5, 5 stars. You know what I'm saying? All the reviews were positive. But one thing I've learned about all businesses is these reviews, you know what I'm saying? Especially when people have a lot of good reviews, people are hesitant to give a bad review because like, I want to be the first person to give a bad review. Maybe I experienced this wrong, right? That's what I experienced at this last place that I went to. So I went to go get my crochet braids put in. Okay. Anybody that knows anything about this process knows it's not a fucking, it's not a Met Gala time taking experience. It's one of the reasons I choose to get it done is because it takes 2 hours. Okay. And you can technically do it yourself, but I mean, you can technically do a lot of shit yourself, but like, I'm not going to have my hands up, like hands up. No, thanks. Okay. I'm not trying to have my hands up all day. I'm just not. So, anyways, walking to the business. Now I was 10 minutes late. Like tough. If you know what I'm saying, like I think there might have been a 15-minute late policy, $15, then I would have paid it. You know what I'm saying? Like, or text me and let me know that you can't see me because I'm 10 minutes late. But or tell me it's a problem when I get there. But don't later say after I give you a review, well, you were late. Okay. I was 10 minutes late. Yeah, I was. Like I said, tough. That's really like not late at all in colored people time. I'm sorry. Colored people time getting into a hair store. Bitch. I said, bitch, like, don't act like you have never fucking had a customer come in late. So get the fuck out of here. So I walked into the shop and it was just like, it was dusty and it was people just like, And like a lot of like hair braiding shops are like that, but this person actually specializes in like a different type of hair experience. So I thought it would be a little more, like I think she like primarily does wigs, right? So I was like, it's not going to be like a braid shop or like, kids everywhere. And the person, like one of the braid shops I went to, the woman had like her child like wrapped around her, which is great, which is great. That's great. I don't want to deal with it, but okay. You see, that's what I'm talking about. That was a black owned business. And her child was literally on her. Like, I'm like getting knocked around by a child, but you're charging me the same price that when I go to get my nails done, it's the same price. And they say tea, coffee, water. You sit down, it's Zen music, it's waterfalls. I'm going to go chasing waterfalls. Okay. I can't do this. I cannot do this. We got to step it up. All I see is expectation that you give to me because I'm a black business owner. That's really all I'm seeing a lot of. You know, Even I'll see with other black YouTubers, they're like, you better give me this and you better do that. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, I'll be like, click off. Like, what the hell? You can't tell me what to do. Can't tell me what to do. Like, the fuck? So yeah, so anyways, I walked into this place and it was like, dusty, and then I looked down on the chair and it was like, it was dirty. It was like really dirty. It was like disgusting. Like I was like, I'm not gonna sit, like there's gonna be debris like on my from your chair. Can you imagine me paying you to walk away with debris from your shop? Like, for the same price when I go to get my nails done, it's clean as a whistle. And this is what I'm talking about when I later said in the review, and let me tell you, okay, let me jump to why I wrote the review. Wasn't even because it was dusty and dirty when I walked in and the seat was dirty. And I literally was like, can you wipe it off, please? And she was like, and I was like, I'll do it. Like, and I just took some random paper towel and wiped it off. I remember I put the paper towel back down, like, and I was like, I hope she doesn't use this paper towel at some point while she's doing my hair, because anything's possible when someone catches an attitude because you point out that their shop is subpar, and I wasn't expecting amazingness. I was expecting a clean chair. I was expecting a clean chair. Disappointed. And as the disappointments hit, let me tell you something. I stood strong. I was like Rocky up in there. I was like, da, 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 because I'm so goddamn used to the disappointments. I'm so used to it. She was braiding my hair mad fucking tight. Let's get to that. Black women business owners. I'm not trying to look good. I'm trying to be good. You understand? I don't want my hair to look good. I want my hair that's on my head to be good. Okay? And when y'all braiding mad fucking tight and shit, no edge zone. No edge zone. They know better. I thought you knew better. Why every time I go into a black woman's hair shop, she looking at me like, hair not stretched? Bitch, you know that hair don't stretch naturally. So if you don't explicitly ask that I stretch my hair, I'm going to assume you know how to work with black women's hair. They don't want to work with black women's hair. It better be stretched. It better be this. It better be that. What the fuck is you going to do? Literally the crocheting. I'm surprised she didn't say I also had to braid my fucking hair before I got there. I'm not trying to look good. I'm trying to be good. I don't want my hair to look great. I want my hair to be great. So y'all got to learn how to braid hair without pulling the fucking shit out of it. Let me tell you something. One of my criteria before I fucking find a place to do my hair, I look at every fucking picture I can find of the place on Instagram. Okay? Because look at the faces. Look at the faces of these women. Okay? People want to say, why black women always frowning? Because you're braiding their hair so goddamn tight. That's why they're always frowning. Okay? That's why every time the picture done, right, they get their hair done and they sit up there. Like who takes a picture like that after you have your hair done, right? Wouldn't after you have your hair done, like a white woman, you'd be like, oh my God, I'm loving it. But you can't even move your neck. You can't even move your neck. Thank you, Redbird. Right. It's absolutely ridiculous. Black men would never tolerate it. If they every time they went to a barber shop, the guy had his kid on his lap, he nicking you and shit. Hold still, nicking you, nigga. Put your head down, put your head down. It's no please, no thank you. I'm not your cousin. You know what I'm saying? As much as people don't want to fucking admit it, yes, I grew up in the fucking hood. And in the hood, all right, if somebody gonna braid my hair for fucking 8 hours, you give them $70 fucking dollars. If I'm gonna be sitting in a dirty floor and there's kids everywhere, and you're on the phone with your boyfriend and you're ordering chicken wings, why is it always chicken wings? That's fine. That's fine. I love chicken wings. All right. Then why shouldn't I pay you $70? See, they know that we black women, we're willing to pay. We're willing to pay whatever the price is. I was telling my husband this. I said, you got to understand, unlike almost anything else, any other type of business, right? Doesn't matter how poor the black woman is. She's willing to spend a lot of money to get her hair done. So these businesses can pop up anywhere, and charge you 200, 300, 400 for their subpar ass experience. Because they know you're going to pay for it, no matter what it is, because you got to get your hair done. And I couldn't believe it, honestly, because I was rocking wigs for the longest fucking time, and I was doing my own hair, and I'll go back to doing that shit. I don't give a fuck. The reason I'm trying to wear more protective styles now is like I'm in the gym, so I'm like trying to have versatile protective hairstyles. Also, I can go to auditions. It's a lot of work, okay? It's a lot of work for me. But yeah. I thought for sure these businesses are going to see that because we're going to YouTube and we can do our own hair, they're going to have to step it up. But I guess y'all didn't learn. I don't know. I said it's in other videos. Like, are y'all learning from watching the videos? I mean, not y'all the ones that's looking at me, but like everyone else on YouTube, right? Are you learning anything? I mean, I'm not, whatever. I still can't do single box braids or crochet because I don't want to, but I did learn a lot of things on YouTube. But I'm very surprised that like there's still this like idea that y'all gonna put up with it because where y'all gonna go? To YouTube. That's where we gonna go, And I was sitting in the chair thinking like, oh Lord, like I really should have watched those videos on how to do crochet braids. That's not what I want to do. I want to pay someone to do it real quick, 2 hours, so I can be out. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, like I said, I walked into the shop and they didn't even say hello. It was just like, literally, that was the reception. And I was like, I'm here for crochet braids. And one of you's got to be doing it. So what the fuck are you looking at me like that for? I don't get it. I know you're not heated because I was 10 minutes late. Like I said, that's early for black people time going to the hair shop. That's early, 10 minutes late. Get out of here. All right. And when I pointed out, um, in my review, that the place was dirty and shit, and I had to ask her to wipe the seat off, and she had attitude and shit. Um, she's like, "Well, you were late." First off, right? That was her response. Do you think Walmart responds like that when they're taking business orders? Why you want to sit there and say Walmart's closing down all small businesses and Amazon's shutting down all small businesses? Do you think Amazon and Walmart, when they're responding to their customers, they say, first of all, you were late? I said, bitch, if I was late, then why didn't your ass take the time to clean up the fucking shop and clean the fucking chair off? So I'd have to ask to not sit in a dirty ass chair. Because I don't give a fuck what these little fucking rugrats out there are accepting. I don't accept that shit. Y'all charge too much. Y'all not charging $70. That's what you charge when you expect somebody to sit on the floor. $70 for 8 hours. Because that's what they was doing back in the day. Okay? On the phone the whole time. All the reviews said that, oh, she gave me such great conversation. I said, I want to explicitly point out, she didn't give me no type of conversation whatsoever. She'd be like, oh, is that okay? Or once or twice. And it literally felt like she was saying it, like timing it. Like, I better ask that kind of question like twice before this bitch, as in me, catches an attitude. I'm not the type of person that's going to catch an attitude when you got your hands in my hair. I'm not. I'm going to wait till you're done. And then, like the fucking phoenix, I'm going to catch the biggest attitude, right? That's what I'm going to do. And that's what I did. And I wrote the fucking review. And I gave 1 star when all the other reviews are like 4.5, 5 stars. Because it's not right to, if that, like, that shit was, bitch. I said, bitch. Talking about first off, you were late. Okay, but the place was dirty. And that wasn't, I looked around. I'm a Black woman. All right. I can tell when a place was dirty, when it got dirty, how long it's been dirty. Do you understand? That shit has been dirty for a while. All right. I looked around. I was like, this place ain't look like it's been clean in like 2 fucking weeks. Straight up. So stop lying and take the note. They gonna have the nerve to say, first off, we was busy. Bitch, you wasn't busy. You's a goddamn lie. Well, what's busy to y'all? What is busy? Huh? Talking to your friends? Talking to your cousin whose hair you're also doing because fuck it. You didn't have any other customers, which is surprising because it's a Black hair shop. So they're going to usually have 2 or 3 heads, telling you to stick to your appointment if you're 10 minutes late. Oh, well, then it's your problem that now I have to work, 2 or 3 heads at the same time. Catch an attitude. Take the fucking note. That's why your shop ain't going nowhere. Like, that's why, you see what I'm saying? That's why you're not getting to the places where you want to be, because you don't know how to take notes. It's always an attitude. It's always a problem. And I don't care. I'm just never going to go there again. I'm never going to recommend it. And I'm going to write a review to reflect the experience that I had. So what you giving me attitude for? Like, I'm not your mom. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck that you don't like it. Like, I don't care. It's really not, Um, You know, one of the things I encountered getting hair done, trying to get your hair done in tri-state area, particularly New York City or whatever, it's a lot of people like running businesses out of their homes, right? So check this. They want to fucking run a shop out of their studio, their apartment, or what the fuck ever. Okay. So when you go to the fucking, this is how I learned because I didn't know. I was like, what the hell? Like, I didn't get what was going on. Right. They won't give you the address straight out of the business because it's their home and they don't want everybody knowing their home. Well, bitch, I don't want to not know where I just sent $100 for a deposit. You don't want everybody knowing your home, then don't run a business out of it. I literally got into a back and forth with one woman because I was like, okay, I just sent you a deposit. So I'm going to need to know where I'm going. I'm planning my day out. I don't have ample amount of time to wait for you to tell me where, apparently now we've come to find out you live. I don't have time. The fuck? How's it my fault that you're running a business out of where you live? That doesn't even sound legal. Right? And that's why I'm not trying to get people in trouble or, you know, play on their fucking hustle and shit. But you wouldn't have to hustle if you did shit the right way. I mean, you have to do a little hustle because black is black. But you know what I'm saying? Like, come on. A lot of that, I'm hustling. It's because you don't know how to listen. You don't want to listen to authority. You don't want to listen to reason. And then you all want to sit around talking about your entrepreneurs. Just because you're good at doing hair doesn't mean you're good at running a business. I'm going to repeat. Just because you're good at doing something, nails, hair, eyelashes, making clothes, doesn't mean you're good at running a business. Running a business requires another kind of good. And I'm not seeing that being understood. And I'm not seeing the skills necessary to run a business being cultivated. But you want to sit around talking about you got a business. What you got is an attitude. And it's weird. And nobody's going to choose to put up with that. But like I said, I think that a large part of the problem is that we've put up with it for so long. You know, that it's like some abusive husband or boyfriend. Like, where else are you going to go? You know, it's like, oh my God, they're right. You know, where else am I going to go? You know, YouTube. I don't love YouTube. I love him, you know, whatever. Right. So, I mean, I don't want to go to your fucking home. But I literally had to go back and forth with one woman and I was like, I just sent you a deposit and you won't tell me where the business is. And she said, well, it's my home and I don't want to give my address out like that. Then why are you running a business? I don't understand. I have to plan out my day. You can't tell me it's somewhere generally in Brooklyn. It's in Brooklyn. I don't care. I said, cancel. I canceled it. She's like, well, I would have told you where it was, but you canceled it. See, you move too slow. It's 1,000 of y'all out there. There's only one of me. Okay? It's a lot of y'all out there. I'm not going to fucking put up with back and forth from a business owner. Can you imagine? You've just sent money to someone, to a business. And you're like, well, you know, I'm not finding the business on your website. Can you clarify? I'll send it out to you later. What? That sounds shady as fuck. Y'all don't understand that sounds shady as fuck. It doesn't matter. Like no one that this applies to and that needs to hear this is gonna hear it. I'm just being honest. They're not going to hear it. I don't know what I would have to do, what crazy fucking prank I would have to pull or whatever for people to like listen to actual reasoning and not a bunch of bullshit. But people don't want to listen to reason. So, oh well. Let's see what else. Here's why I wrote the review, and here's why I'm talking about this shit. Okay. I was asking the woman that was doing my hair because the site that I booked the appointment through is also the site that you're supposed to pay through, right? So when she was finished, I was like, "Oh, how do you want me to pay? Like, how do you want me to go about that?" And she was like, she's like, "Oh, don't worry about it. I was like, "Okay, well, I'm going to use the bathroom and then I'll come out and do it, right?" So I went, use the bathroom, came back, and when I came back out, she's like, "Oh," I was like, "So how do I pay? Because I'm not really sure how to use this app to do that." And she's like, "Oh, I already charged you." I was like, "Oh, okay, all right." So without me standing around, right? You just like hit whatever button and like took my money, without me signing anything off or anything like that. I found that weird, but I was like, okay. I get home. 2 days later, there's a second charge. The second charge just happened to be like a 15% tip. So I was like, so you tipped yourself? Because see, I might have even still have left her a tip if she hadn't charged me without my fucking knowledge and there was nothing that I could do. But since she did that, I was like, okay, well, you know what? If you have to wipe seats off, that doesn't deserve a tip. Your attitude, that didn't deserve a tip. You braided it really tight in the back when I specifically asked you not to. Those are things that, you don't deserve a tip. So I probably would have gave her a low tip anyways. But like I said, she didn't give me a choice to. She charged me without me standing around. Okay. So then I get home and 2 days later, there's a second charge that just happens to be the amount of a tip from that business. I called her immediately. I said, "Excuse me, I got a second charge here. I don't know what's going on there." She's like, "I didn't do it. I didn't do it. The the company did it. The app did it. I didn't do it." I was like, mad defensive. One, two. I don't know a ton about computers and how the insides work and apps and all that shit works, but I know they don't just charge people randomly out of nowhere. No, they don't. No, they don't. So now you're lying. You see what I'm saying? And so I was like, ew, how gross. Like your shop was a mess. You had a fucking attitude, that fucking typical, like, I just have an attitude because I've always had this attitude and it works for me type attitude. You braided it too fucking tight. You're talking to someone else the entire time you're doing my fucking hair, doing your hair while you're doing my hair. That's unprofessional and it's unsanitary. These are things that I think about when I'm considering giving tips and when I'm considering writing reviews and all that other shit. I think a large part of the problem with why Black women are overweight, or such a large number of Black women are overweight, is because of the idea of looking good. Hair snatched and this and, face beat and all this other shit. And it's like, okay, but what's going on with your skin? What's going on? I mean, from fucking core. And I'm not perfect, but at least I'm willing to acknowledge that that's something that I have to work on. You know what I'm saying? You have to be good inside and out, not just look good, because that's a mask and people can see that, right? All right. So that's my rant on Black women business owners. There's a lot of work to be done. And a lot of y'all is very talented at making and creating, but you're not good business owners. You don't run business well, and that needs to be worked on. Stop, go away. Get going. Thank you. Okay, thank you, Cersei. Goodbye. Jeez. Anyways. I don't understand how it's still like as crappy as it was when I was a fucking kid. And I am talking specifically mostly the hair experience of the Black women business owners that run hair shops or whatever. Because that's where I'm seeing the triflingness. And that's when I definitely, I need a Black woman for that. Right? And to encounter, what's your problem, dude? Come on. To encounter, Jesus. A bunch of fucking problems all along the way. It's like, if you see something done right once, you understand, oh, this is the correct way to do things. So this is making me think, have you never been to a good business? Have you never been to a place where they ran things right? Because if you had, you would know what you're doing isn't working. And you got to do something else. Better. Watch videos on how to be better. Clean. If you got time to lean, you got time to clean. This is what white business owners put up in their shops. And that's what they expect. And y'all okay with it looking bad and people being disgusted? Got to do better. Okay. All right. Finally found a porterhouse steak, dry aged, bone in. I was looking in Jersey, couldn't find it, so I went to Yonkers. And it was so nice because like the butcher was a Black guy. There was a lot of Black people, it's Yonkers. So a lot of Black people worked in the store, in the Whole Foods. And, the butcher was a Black guy. He kept calling me sister. Oh, I love that. I love that. And I had a doctor's appointment. My nurse was Black and she was really nice. And she was like asking me about my braids. And she's like, oh, crochet braids? Yeah, I want to know. I know, I'll try that. I was busting jokes with her, laughing, having a great time, loving it. Colorism in the industry. Okay. I don't know who Tory Lanez is. I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not, he doesn't know who I am. I don't know who he is. I don't know who he is. If he has a popular song, maybe you can tell me what it is, but I just listen to music that I like. So I don't really listen to the radio. So I don't really like. Okay. I saw that video. See your legs coming down the stairs. Right. You're keeping Ken as Wilson from Stop. Home Improvement. So you guys will only see like little pieces of him. You have to like put it together and figure out. Okay, even though we did have the DK show Instagram for a long time there, but and he's in other videos, like his whole face and body. He's in other videos on this channel, so it's not trying to hide. But yeah, Colorism in the industry. Tory Lanez. I don't know who he is. All right. I saw the video with the models. It looks staged. Just because nobody does that, right? And it looks like the dark skinned model, like, she depends on the directors to get work. And then like Tory Lanez, who doesn't depend on directors to get work, is just like throwing her under the bus. Go. Throwing her under the bus, basically, to like stage this event. Listen, y'all stay getting lied to. I mean, what do you want? I don't know. Like 21 Savage, like he straight out lied and said that he was like African American and grew up in like the hoods here in America, and he didn't. That's not true, and like nobody cares about that. I don't know. I just find it interesting because I'm like, he literally said like in an interview that his father, he said my daddy was a crackhead. That's what he said, and that's how he said it. And like that's not even how he talks. It's not. I don't know how he talks, mate. I know he talks like this, because everyone that he talks to on the phone and Skype and at home is talking like that, and then he's like, capitalizing on, descendants of American chattel slavery's pain with the crack cocaine epidemic to be like, my daddy was a crackhead. That's literally what he said, and like nobody cares that he's like capitalizing on a group of people's pain. So like make money. Like I don't know. But yeah, I'm not surprised, and I feel I'm not surprised, and I feel like y'all was really eager for that to be real, and I don't know what's going on. Like I feel bad for for women that were like hoping that was real, because it's just like no one really does that. Period. For anyone. You know what I'm saying? So like, and then he's gonna do something like so life changing. No, he's not. No way. And at the very least, they'd say, well, let's try both and see who we want, And apparently, he wanted the light skinned actress or model, anyways, because the dark skinned model isn't even in a music video, which is hilarious. Like, you can't make this stuff up. She said she's not even in the music video. I don't know what the music video is. I don't know if I'll see it or not, but isn't that hilarious? Like, they can't even lie well. So yeah, more colorism in the industry. Cash doll. Cash. Okay, bud. I don't know what to tell you. It feels like a lot of these celebs, um, like when it comes to like black celebs, like they're only black when it's time to sell something or when they've been inconvenienced. Yes, said it. Mm. Yes, said it, baby. Yes, said it. I said it. Like, that's really what it feels like, because that reminds me of the Cuba Gooding Jr. situation going on right now, right? I don't know what happened. We saw whatever part of the video they wanted us to see, right? Doesn't look like he did anything to this woman. Okay, but like, why aren't you talking about the injustice that gets you put in that situation? Why isn't that a focus? Why is it only a focus when, oh, now it's happened to me? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Systematic oppression and racism by the toe, right? Like, it's going to get you at some point because that's how systems work. You can jump and you can run and you can, right, maneuver pieces. This is a chess game for, you go from being, I guess, poor working middle class, right, is like checkers. Like, at some point you gonna get got like 50% of the time by this shit. And then when you have a little bit more money, right, then all of a sudden now you're playing chess, right? And so you're winning and you're winning and you're winning and you're winning until eventually it happens to you. So why wouldn't you fight against the bigger picture that's making that happen all of the time, a general amount of the time, so that you can lessen the likelihood of you becoming another victim of these systems? I don't know. I feel like people don't understand how that works. So yeah, I don't know. Colorism in the industry. I do a lot of theater. um, so I haven't noticed colorism being much of an issue in terms of getting work or how I've been treated or anything like that. But I will say, what I notice is the stereotypes, right? So the sexy, softer Black women characters, they tend to go more towards lighter skin or biracial Black women than they do Black women, right? Um, and so, I love playing the villain. That's always fun. But it's very weird, that, but that's been, I studied Blacks in film in undergrad. And stop, Cersei. Relax. Stop. All right, thank you. Goodbye. Um, and that's not anything new. It's not anything new to cast Black people in general. The lighter they are, the more, closer they are to whiteness, right? That's not something that's new. It's happened for many years, many years since the start of Black people in cinema. So, um, I think that one drives the other. The media image of lighter skinned Black people and biracial people being at the top of Blackness has influenced how Black people interact with one another. And then how Black people interact with one another influences what the media portrays Black people as doing, right? And so I feel like that's going to take Black people um deciding to, start using their brains, um and not allowing that type of representation. While it's not negative, it's not conducive to uh you know the progress of all Black people. It's not to continuously elevate lighter skin and biracial Black people in Black spaces. In Black spaces, let us be clear. because they'll say, no, 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 that person not, why people not letting me? Why you not letting me? White people are very clear about who they're going to let do what. All right. So we're talking about the way lighter skinned Black people and biracial Black people are elevated in Black spaces to and for and around Black people, right? If you continue to allow that to be, what's up, then you're going to continue to see your community reflected in that way, you know? And then your kids are influenced by what they see, and then everybody's doing what they see, and, cycle continues. Uh, yeah, so I mean, that's the bottom line, if you don't work on fixing the root cause of the problem, and all you do is complain when it hits you, you're never going to get anywhere. There's not even any point, you know. Um, yeah, so that's pretty much it. I don't feel like colorism is more of an issue for Black people um, when it comes to society at large, but you know, allowing people. So, for example, I was watching Black Mirror. Shit, I said the name of the show. Oh well. I love Black Mirror. It's awesome. But like there was an episode with Gugu Mbatha Raw, right? Gugu Mbatha Raw. She's a biracial British actress. And she was playing a Black woman, a Black American woman in the episode. Okay. So the episode goes from like the 80s to like the future. And her future self was a Black American woman, right? But like almost any older Black American woman is going to have a certain essence, going to have a certain voice. A large percentage of American Black people came from what's not cool, Redbird. A large percent of American Black people came from the South, right? So that's why 21 Savage. Um, are you talking about 21 Savage, Redbird? I'm trying to like let you finish because I'm like, okay. Anyways, I'll get back to you too. Okay. So a large percentage of American descendants of chattel slavery, Black Americans, whatever you want to call yourselves, okay, came from the South, obviously, because that's where a lot of them were, right? Came from the South and were there for many years, right? So, like, my family came from the South. My mother was born up north. She was like the first of the family members that were born up north. So when she spoke, she had a lot of Southern dialect, right? North Carolina dialect, because that's where a lot of her family was from. So, anyways, the character, like Google Mbatha Raw's character, and she had this kind of just very charming, American voice, right? Just very neutral American voice that, like, I'm sure British actors learn how to speak with. A lot of, foreign actors learn just to talk with a neutral American voice, like this, like how I'm talking right now with a neutral American voice. So her character had a neutral American voice in the 80s, right? She's in the 80s, she's in the 90s, she's in the 2000s with a neutral American voice. Then they go to the future, right? And the older Black woman is like, I guess it's time for me to get on with the keeping on, right? And it's like, whoa. It was so, as a Black American, it was so jarring for me Because I was like, well, one, you have clearly a biracial woman. Even the tones of her skin, like in the light, in the when they shot at night, the tone of her skin was very pale in the night, right? And that's fine that you chose to cast like that, but like, why have you cast a black woman to play her as the adult just because they're the same skin color? Like she, it was like she's like talking like this in the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s, and then like she's old in the future and she's like, show is tough, and it's like, what the hell? Like, you weren't talking like anything like that before, because there's no consideration given to, the Black American experience and our nuances and our culture. There's just no consideration given because we say, okay, it's everything we see, you know, and I mean, that's going to lead to your erasure. Eventually, I'm sorry, but it is. Uh, and I guess you just have to come to terms with it if you're not going to do anything about it. Yeah, yeah. The 21 Savage thing really surprised me. It really did, because I was like, so you're just going to disrespect um, Black American, descendants of chattel slavery, all that shit that happened. Uh, if you look at the opioid and meth and heroin epidemics that are going on right now, there's a lot of compassion that's being given to the majority of these addicts, and there's a reason why they're treated with compassion, and the crack cocaine epidemic was treated they were treated as criminals. There's a reason. uh okay, well, that's it pretty much. That's all I've got. That's all I've got, mate. um Yeah. Oh, I mean, I was gonna say also I did some background work on this one show, and I did notice that they, when they wanted to elevate like black background actors to like be like have one or two lines, they would choose the biracial actresses because they had bigger hair. And of course they have bigger hair, like more voluminous hair because they're biracial and they have a different hair texture, right? But they will like put that in and it's like, oh, it's black when like America wasn't even made up of the same demographic as it is today, So like, they want to replace black Americans so bad, but it's like we've been here for a while. Just black Americans, just black, you know, and the people and descendants of, rape that were biracial, you know. Um, yeah, I noticed that. I mean, it is what it is. I was like, my hair is not going to get as big as her hair. I'm not biracial. Like, they're looking for like biracial hair, but then they're like calling the characters black. Um, yeah. So, anyways, I'm back. I was sick before. I was saying that in another video. I'm not flaky. I was sick. That's why I stopped making the lives and doing the videos and shit. But I'm gonna come back, do more lives. I'm gonna try to not hit y'all up during dinner time. Okay. Um, yeah, definitely gonna talk more about interracial dating and leveling up. Those are things I don't talk a lot about, but I know a hell of a lot about them. And I feel like, I see a lot of people talking about that shit that, they're not about that life, Hello, Hecate, Queen of the Vampires. I see a lot of people talking about that shit and they're not about that life. And I'm like, oh, I don't know if You should be giving advice on this. So I like to give a little bit more of my perspective, which I feel like I try to have a grounded perspective on things. And I would definitely want to give you guys my perspective of interracial dating, marriage, leveling up, um, from a more grounded perspective. I don't think that it takes all of the transformations and hyper focus on it that I see a lot of people do. Um, yeah, I'm gonna do another video on that. But I will say that y'all not ready for interracial relationships. That's why I don't talk about it, because y'all not ready for it. Y'all not ready for this shit. You're not. You're absolutely not. White people aren't ready for it, and black people are not ready for it. You're not ready to date and or marry interracially. You're not ready for what that means. You think you're ready for it, and you're not. You're not ready to do the work. I've said this in so many videos, white Americans, they love to learn about Indian culture and Asian culture and African culture, but they don't want to learn about African American culture. To them, that is you kissing their ass. I'm sorry, but it's the truth. That is their idea of African American culture. That y'all scared of them. That y'all gonna move out of their way and do what the fuck they say. That's the extent of them interacting with you with culture and dancing. I'm sorry, but it is what it is. I hear a lot of people talk about, interacting with people of different races and stuff, but like I grew up I've been around this shit. I'm not new to this shit. You know what I'm saying? Um and I'm going to talk more about why you guys aren't ready for it, but you're not ready for it. I don't know what you're ready for. I think more people are ready to struggle a lot more than they give themselves credit for, you know. I'm not willing to do that. I'm not willing to do the struggling. Um and so I had to be willing to do, the interracial thing, and it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work when you're a proud black person. Um, there's a lot of L's that I'm expected to take, that I don't take. And, nobody's like interested in what the cultural difference of that is, you know. Um, you're two very different cultures, white Americans and black Americans. Those are two very different cultures, you know, two very different ways of living life. And you have to both understand where each other is coming from. Nobody wants to do that. Everybody wants to just pretend like they had a similar experience. Sometimes when my husband hears about some of the things that I've experienced, he's like, my God, like he is flabbergasted, you know? And for me having to understand that, wow, he had a pretty good, everything was just pretty great, you know? So he's not used to jumping and, being alert and hyper vigilant the way that I am. There's so much to learn, you know? I'm not sure if people want to learn it. They just want to dip and experiment. And you can do that too. You can do that too, but a lot of, I see y'all on here, y'all acting a fool. Y'all acting a fool. You cannot ask, you can't ask or demand, for example, a man to just pay your bills. Like, that's not how it works. You can't get into a relationship and be like, you better pay my bills. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. I'm like, I don't know how you're approaching things like this. Like, it doesn't work at all. A lot of the reason why men like a lot of women, which I had to realize a hard truth of, is because they are taken care of, right? They have fathers or they have patriarchy. And so they don't need the man for every little thing. That's not appealing to most men. So you can't basically be run through, right? Let these niggas run through you and then go over to a man of a different race and be like, you better be the end all be all. You better be everything. Because that's not how things work. So I'm seeing a lot of that kind of craziness going on. And I'm like, I think there's a practical way of getting a quality man. There's practical ways of doing this shit, ladies. Y'all making this shit look like a fucking obstacle course. Like, it's no. If you're a good person, you can get a good, you're a good woman, you can get a good guy. Okay. I'll talk about that more in the next video. Okay. I'm gonna make some steak. Again, dry aged, porterhouse, bone in. That's what I'm making tonight. Follow my Instagram, Ma Non-Steel, my foodie Instagram, and follow my pet Instagram, Pets of the DK Show. And follow me on Twitter at Danny Steele. I spend a lot of time at those places. If I'm not here in social media land, those are the places that I be. Okay? All right. Thanks for watching. You guys rock. See you next time.